So, it looks like the Bud Light effect not going to be denied. Here's the headline. NHL says no more specialty sweaters during warm-ups after Pride celebration backlash. It's become a distraction. And the media and many public figures are very keen on portraying this as anti-LGBTQ plus SL whatever, which is an accusation that's meant to bludgeon people into submission. I think that you and I both know this has nothing to do with LGB. And nobody really cared about Pride before, except maybe to make fun of the obvious cynical opportunism from corporations. And, maybe just amusement over the fact that it had become so absurdly oversaturated, seemingly beyond all need. And maybe also the fact that the Pride parades had turned into really just kink parades at some point. But the backlash is not about lesbians, gays, bi people. Although I do think that bisexuals are 99% college girls on spring break, and then only for maybe an hour. But the backlash is really about the radical gender theory that's being pushed on kids now. It's in schools. It's in K through 12. I mean, as young as kindergarten now. Just this weird pseudoscience with no basis in reality that just seems guaranteed to confuse children, including children that are so young that they can't possibly understand these concepts anyway. It's stuff like drag queen story hour. Particularly parents are noticing this and saying, well, I don't like that. And if you're going to insist that that's what the rainbow means now, well, then I'm going to reject that. And I also reject you saying that I'm a phobe because I don't think children can consent to things like puberty blockers or cross-sex hormones, and certainly not surgical interventions. So that is what the backlash is against. And it's the left, the far left itself, which has tied all of that to LGB and said this is what the community, quote unquote, supports. As if there is a community, as if there's a gay town with the mayor of Gay Town and the mayor of Gay Town's press secretary. No, there's individuals, and they don't all agree on everything. But anyway, back to where we started. It looks like what we can call the Bud Light effect is still happening. Don't forget, Bud Light has lost billions of dollars. Target now has lost billions of dollars. Looks like the NHL's looking at this and saying, that's not the kind of trouble we want. One professional sports league is taking a step to stop politics from distracting from the game. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman said Thursday that teams will no longer wear specialty sweaters during warm-ups, such as those worn in celebration of LGBTQ pride because, quote, it's become a distraction. Multiple players refused to don the sweaters celebrating the LGBTQ agenda during the season, with some citing their Christian beliefs and others fearing backlash from their home country of Russia. And I can't help but thinking that maybe sports should just be sports. Maybe there shouldn't be. The Pride thing is now political. The Liberal Party in Canada might as well call itself the Pride Party. I'm surprised Justin Trudeau doesn't walk around everywhere in a rainbow suit with a pride flag sticking out of his ass. And give him another 5 years and the maple leaf will be replaced by a dildo. Here's what Bettman said in an interview with Sportsnet. Quote, I've suggested it would be appropriate for clubs not to change their jerseys in warm-ups because it's become a distraction and taking away from the fact that all of our clubs, in some form or another, host nights in honor of various groups or causes. And we'd rather them continue to get the appropriate attention that they deserve and not be a distraction. So he's not saying anything specifically about the rainbow jerseys, but it's pretty obvious what's happening here. And it's not like they're outright banning anything explicitly here. The Board of Governors reportedly agreed with Bettman putting a stop to teams wearing the specialty sweaters, but the commissioner said teams can still host politically focused specialty nights such as Pride Night, Black History Night, and Military Appreciation Night. Teams can also continue to make specialty sweaters for various causes and charities and sell them to the fans. Quote, it's really just the question of what's on the ice. But in all honesty, I think they're better off just getting rid of everything. Just make it about sports. In this case, hockey. Who really wants anything that has any kind of political flavor at all when they go to a hockey game, or a football game, or a baseball game? And make no mistake, Pride is political now. The second that self-appointed leaders started pushing far left gender theory into schools, it became political. And even elected leaders like Justin Trudeau made it political. Says 7 players refused to take part in Pride Night celebrations, an event hosted by all 32 NHL teams over the course of the season. Brothers and Florida Panthers teammates Eric and Mark Stahl joined the San Jose Sharks goalie James Reimer and Philadelphia Flyers defenseman Ivan Provorov for refusing to wear the pride sweaters because of their Christian faith. Russian players Ilya Lubushkin, Denis Gurianov of the Montreal Canadiens, and Andrei Kuzmenko of the Vancouver Canucks also said they would not wear the sweaters according to ESPN, and they have every right to not do that. And then, of course, that caused a big fuss in the media because the media can't handle anybody disagreeing with them on anything. And again, maybe the NHL is just better off not being a part of any of this stuff. Just play the game. Now, of course, activists and activist journalists especially are going to freak out over this and accuse everybody of being a bigot, but ultimately, they're a fringe group. They're a fringe group within hockey fans. Most of them aren't even hockey fans. So I still think that the NHL is just better off steering clear. Any sports organization, steer clear of anything that's going to piss off the fans. So will we see more of this? I think that we will. The second that the focus became on kids and pushing radical gender theory on children, I think this was inevitable. It's just too much. And to be honest, I mean, the levels of saturation of this stuff had gotten so extreme already, so hilariously over the top already, that at some point people were bound to just get turned off by it anyway. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.